Welcome to today's video, where we uncover the truth about so-called road hazard protection plans commonly pushed at car dealerships. First, we will break down what these plans are, why they are so expensive, and how dealers often add them to contracts without clear consent. Next, we will show you exactly how to negotiate or decline them, and how to cancel and escalate if you already bought one. Finally, we will give you scripts, a quick checklist, and a step-by-step timeline to secure refunds. Let's dive in. Here's our agenda. First, we will define road hazard protection and why it sounds attractive. Then, we will reveal the hidden costs and dealer markups that make these plans poor value. After that, we will explain how these fees end up in your contract. Next, we will give you negotiation and decline strategies. Then, we will outline cancellation rights and escalation paths. Finally, we will summarize key takeaways and test your knowledge with a short quiz. To begin, road hazard protection is marketed as coverage for damage to tires and wheels caused by nails, potholes, and debris. While this sounds reassuring, the issue is that the pricing is often excessive relative to the average risk and actual claims paid out. Furthermore, many dealers sell it under different brand names, creating confusion and making comparison shopping difficult. As we continue, remember that protection plans can be optional service contracts, not mandatory requirements to buy the car. Now let's examine the money. These plans frequently cost between $1,200 and $1,800. Dealers commonly capture 50 to 70% profit on each sale. When you consider how rarely most drivers need multiple tire or wheel replacements, the expected value is often negative for the buyer. Moreover, dealerships may bundle road hazard with paint protection or VIN etching to inflate the total without a clear breakdown. As a result, many buyers only notice the line item at the end of a long finance office session. Therefore, slow down and scrutinize every charge before you sign. Next, this flowchart illustrates the typical pathway. First, a salesperson pitches add-ons during or after the vehicle selection. Then, the finance manager pre-populates the contract with road hazard and related extras. After that, the buyer faces a large stack of documents and decision fatigue. The signature page may list add-ons in small print or as bundled line items, making them easy to overlook. Later, the buyer discovers the charge when reviewing paperwork at home. At that point, the buyer requests removal, a discount, or cancellation. Finally, the dealer either cooperates or delays, which determines whether the fee is removed immediately, negotiated down, or refunded after cancellation. Here is a snapshot of common add-ons, their typical prices, and approximate dealer profits based on industry patterns. Road hazard plans often cost between $1,200 and $1,800, with dealer profit around 50 to 70%. Paint protection usually has a similar profit structure, while VIN etching can have even higher margins. The perceived value for many buyers is low, particularly when alternative solutions exist, or when careful maintenance and insurance already cover much of the risk. Now let's compare. On the left, dealer road hazard plans carry a high upfront cost, restrictive claim terms, and profit-driven pricing that makes comparison difficult. On the right, alternatives include paying as you go at local tire shops, purchasing low-cost warranties directly from tire retailers, leveraging credit card damage or roadside assistance benefits, or self-insuring by setting aside a modest repair fund. Overall, the alternatives often provide more flexibility and better cost control. Moving on, be alert to contract traps. If an add-on was not clearly discussed and agreed to, it should not appear on your contract. Carefully review every page, especially the itemized fees section. Pause the signing process if anything looks unfamiliar. Ask for a clean contract, without any optional protections. Do not accept explanations that something is mandatory unless the dealer can show the legal requirement in writing. Next, here is how to negotiate. First, assume every add-on is optional. Second, clearly state that you want all protection packages removed. Third, if you still want a plan, negotiate aggressively for at least 30 to 50% off the price. Fourth, request itemized pricing in writing to eliminate bundling confusion. Finally, be prepared to walk away if they refuse, because leaving is often the strongest leverage you have. Continuing, most service contracts are cancelable. If you act quickly, you may qualify for a full refund, particularly within a short post-purchase window. After that window, you can usually receive a pro-rated refund based on the time elapsed or miles driven. Carefully read the cancellation clause and note any required forms, signatures, or contact channels. Keep copies of all communication and request written confirmation of the cancellation and refund timeline. Now, if you already purchased the plan, here is the cancellation playbook. First, locate the cancellation clause in your service contract. Second, submit a written cancellation request immediately by email or certified mail. Third, follow up by phone and email until you receive written acknowledgement. Fourth, if the dealership delays or ignores you, cite that you will escalate the matter to your state's Attorney General or Consumer Protection Office. Fifth, file formal complaints if necessary to apply external pressure. Finally, maintain a detailed record of dates, names, and all documents so you can demonstrate your diligence if the dispute continues. Here is a high-level breakdown of a $1,600 road hazard fee. Approximately 60% may be dealer profit. Around 10% covers administrative overhead. Another 10% represents the underwriting partner's share. Only about 20% may go toward claims actually paid to customers. While percentages vary by provider, this illustrates why the expected value can be unfavorable for buyers. This timeline shows a practical 30-day plan. On day 0, you purchase the vehicle. Between days 1 and 7, review your paperwork thoroughly. On day 7, submit a written cancellation if you find unwanted add-ons. By day 10, seek a written acknowledgement from the dealership. Between days 14 and 21, follow up and escalate to regulators if progress stalls. By day 30, the refund should post, or you should have a formal complaint filed to compel action. Quiz time. The question is, you discover a $1,600 road hazard fee on the contract just before signing. What is the best next step? Option A. Sign now and cancel later to avoid confrontation. Option B. Politely refuse and ask for a clean contract with all add-ons removed. Option C. Agree but ask for free floor mats. Option D. Ignore it because it is mandatory by law. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is B. Removing add-ons before signing provides maximum leverage and prevents delays or administrative hurdles that can arise during cancellations. Moreover, most of these protections are optional, so insisting on a clean contract is both reasonable and effective. Here are ready-to-use scripts. For negotiation, state clearly that you want all add-ons removed, including road hazard, paint protection, and VIN etching. If you are open to any plan, request a 30 to 50% discount and itemized pricing. For cancellation, use the email template provided. Fill in your date, contract number, and attach copies of your agreement and identification. Finally, if the dealer becomes unresponsive, send a firm escalation note stating that you will bring the matter to your state Attorney General or Consumer Protection Office. Let's summarize the key takeaways. Assume all add-ons are optional. Demand removal or a substantial discount expressed in writing. Read every line item before you sign. If you have already purchased the plan, cancel quickly to maximize your refund, and escalate to consumer protection agencies if you meet resistance. Before we wrap up, a brief disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute legal or financial advice. Laws, policies, and contract terms vary by state, dealership, and provider. Consult your contract documents and, if necessary, seek advice from a qualified professional in your jurisdiction. In conclusion, we learned that road hazard plans are often overpriced and structured to yield high dealer profits. You can and should refuse them or negotiate substantial discounts. Most contracts allow cancellation and refunds, particularly if you act quickly. If you encounter delays, escalate to your state's consumer protection agencies to compel compliance. With these steps, you can keep more money in your pocket and still protect your car wisely. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you avoid unnecessary fees, please like, share, and subscribe. In the comments, tell us which add-ons you were offered and how you handled them. Your stories can help other buyers push back and save money.